Good afternoon. My name is David Everett. I am the Chief of Staff to the Mayor here in Salt Lake City, and it is my distinct pleasure and honor to welcome you all here and for joining us as we celebrate the swearing in of our 21st Chief of the Salt Lake City Fire Department. So thank you all for being here. As you know, today is a day of celebration. Today we honor our past, celebrate the present, and really anticipate great things for our future. You all know Brian Dale, and you know him as a man we consider a homegrown product, a leader who has served our community for decades. And we look forward to all that the chief brings and will be bringing in his new position as head of our fire department. I certainly want to take just one moment to personally acknowledge the men and women of the Salt Lake City Fire Department who do stand ready every day at every moment in defense of our city and ensuring our safety in ways that most of us don't even begin to really realize. So thank you all. This office and our community, we really cannot thank you enough for your service. And with that, I'm very pleased to introduce Mayor Ralph Becker.
Dave, thank you, and I hope in the middle of this we don't have a multiple alarm fire, because we want you all to be here throughout this event. And I want to second the acknowledgement that Dave made for those of us who are in our fire service in Salt Lake City. We know you hold yourselves to the highest standards, and it's reflected every day in the work you do and in the response from our community. So I, as well, extend to all of you my appreciation, and really my appreciation on behalf of our community that we have a fire department that we know, bar none, provide the finest service in fire and emergency responses across our city and even more broadly across the community wherever you're needed. So I thank you for that. So I have, of course, this great pleasure of swearing in our next fire chief. Brian Dale, I think all of you here know. He was hired in 1986, not quite 30 years ago. He's served in varying capacities all the way through his career. And as we would hope for anyone, really, in the work that they do on behalf of our city, has served in roles that have put him in a really superb place to be able to lead our fire department. He was at Station 5 for 10 years. He adopted, for 10 years. He adopted some of the great advancements we've seen in our fire department, including the automated electronic patient review system. And he also led the effort for the fire department's strategic plan, which we, of course, are in the process now of carrying out. So no one, from my vantage point, is better suited to lead our fire department after the great hands from Chief Cook, who's here. So thank you, Chief, for joining us. No one is really better positioned than to lead us through with the fire department, emergency services, and the work with our city. The changes we need to address and adapt to changing conditions in our community and in our times, but has the incredible experience and expertise to do a wonderful job for the city. So with that, I was going to say Chief Dale, but we're not quite there yet. Let's invite you to come up next to the mic here. And if you will repeat after me. I, Brian Dale, do solemnly swear and affirm.
I, Brian Dale, do solemnly swear and affirm.
To faithfully and honestly represent the Salt Lake City Fire Department as Fire Chief.
To faithfully and honestly represent the Salt Lake City Fire Department as Fire Chief.
To perform all of my duties professionally and to the best of my ability.
To perform all of my duties professionally and to the best of my ability.
To ensure the safety and well-being of those I am entrusted to lead.
To ensure the safety and well-being of those I'm entrusted to lead.
and to uphold and follow the high standards of the Salt Lake City Fire Department and the citizens I am sworn to serve.
to uphold the high standards of Salt Lake City Fire Department and
I'll share it.
the citizens I'm sworn to serve.
Thank you, and congratulations, Chief Dale.
Thank you very much.
So as is the custom, Chief Dale is getting his new badge from his wife. Chief, congrats.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, thank you everyone for everybody being here. Our department, not many people know this, but our department has been serving the citizens of the capital city since 1883. We are one of the few departments in the state, and many other states, quite honestly, who have the ability to do that with 4 hands on every engine. Every heavy apparatus has 4 people. Very few departments have that ability, and we certainly thank the council and the mayor's office for supporting us in that. I was doing an interview earlier this morning with a radio station, and he asked me what we were going to do, what we were working on. And I thought about it for a second, and I thought, you know, for our department, we do exceedingly well at many things, but the stuff we do every day, we do exceedingly well. Where we have areas to improve are what I would call the bookends. For either the very low-level things, such as a person calling 911 for a medical condition that is very minor, the person that has, a pain in their elbow or has other minor maladies that if you think about sending a fire engine or an ambulance and taking that person to an emergency room, seems to be not very effective or efficient. So we have implemented several things to deal with that, working with our 911 bureau. We have the nurse navigator, and those people who call in for minor medical things, rather than getting an ambulance right off the bat or getting an engine company, they're going to be talking to a specially trained and equipped nurse that can better deal with that, either home advice or send them to an appropriate clinic based on their clinical condition, thereby leaving our heavy apparatus more ready to serve for higher level emergencies. The other piece of this thing we need to do better with is the ultimate emergency. We have an airliner go down near the airport, or we have the large earthquake that everyone is predicting. We are getting better at preparing for those things, but we have a ways to go. Our department is one of the most innovative departments I've ever seen. When you look at how we do things, when we look at the services that we provide to the citizens and how we provide those services, we are out there amongst very few that are willing to do the things that we're willing to do. As far as the reduction of lights and siren. The reduction of lights and siren was, first of all, was a very traditionally uncharacteristic thing to do because everybody had thought that you needed to go lights and sirens on things. When we became an accredited dispatch center in 1997, in 1998 we dropped our lights and sirens use by 40%. By doing those kinds of things, we reduce the risk to firefighters, we reduce the risk to those driving around us, and obviously they get better fuel mileage, and you're not going to have to pay for as many bumpers and brakes if you're not using those devices quite as often. So as you look at how we've done things in Salt Lake, we've done things, I think, better and certainly more efficient than most departments I have seen throughout my travels in this country and others. The other thing that it's important to remember is that we have been challenged by the mayor's office and the council to be more efficient in how we do business. Last year, we implemented with the city council and the mayor's approval our medical response team, which is a 2-person rig in the downtown core of our city. We do that on a Tahoe base, driving a Tahoe, and they're driving to, most of the emergencies are non-life-threatening, but they're the calls we get all day long. That does 2 things. Number one, it's a more efficient model in the heavy volume area, and it leaves those heavy apparatus with 4 firefighters on there to handle the heavier level emergencies without being out on other things. Obviously, you get better gas mileage. Engine companies don't get real good gas mileage. Tahoes get better. And so we're doing things more efficiently day to day in Salt Lake City. The mayor has challenged us with that, and I think we're doing a very good job. As we look at the public safety building, we now have a home that is bound to be net zero. It's a very efficient methodology for providing the administrative services, our dispatch center. And for the first time in my career, we actually have a dedicated EOC. Strange that a capital city for so many years has not had that. the taxpayers, the city council, the mayor's office, ensure that we now have a state-of-the-art emergency operations center for high-level emergencies as they occur. So as you look at this, our department is very well strategically placed. We're in a good spot. We have good people. We're in a very good position to do more in the future. As we look at what we're going to do next, we have some ideas, but we're sitting very, very well. We've started a lot of new programs in the last 2 years. I don't want to start new things until we've confirmed the things we're doing now make sense and they're working. So as we look at where we're going next, we're in a good spot. Where we're going is in a great direction, but we don't have all the information we need yet to make sure that we're going in the right direction and we can validate what we're doing. We're trying to give the customers, the city council, the mayor's office, a very good return on their investment. And we're actually doing that with a lot of data. We're one of the few departments that has a data stream we have to look at outcomes for patients, for fire incidents. We're doing that very well as well. So as I look in the next 3 to 5 years, that's what I see coming for us. To continue to strive to do our jobs better, more efficiently, to make sure that every heavy apparatus remains to have 4 firefighters on it. We know that's what works. And also to be efficient where it counts, whether that be the nurse navigator, whether it be our medical response teams. We're going to continue to look for efficiencies where they make sense, but keep our firefighters safe. I thank you all for coming this afternoon. Very short ceremony, but thank you very much. I appreciate the honor. It is truly an honor to be in this position, and I feel blessed to be working with the staff that I have. Thank you very much.